Hello friends and welcome back to today's class. Let's see what we have today. It's somehow tricky, but it's very simple. So ensure to stay through the end so that you grab all the juices in this tutorial. And as usual, I'll give you something to try at the end of this. Now look at what we have. Are there two numbers we can add? That's what this means, to give us 3. Then when we multiply those two numbers, it will give us 9. Can you think of such numbers? If you can, let's know the numbers in the comment section. But if you can't, let's do this together, okay? Now let's answer this. To solve this question, this is system of equation, okay? Because we have two equations here and with two different variables. So we call it system of equation. But you have to be very smart in this type. So to answer this question, what do you have? We can label this one equation 1 and this is 2, okay? So what you will simply do, there are so many ways you can do it. Whichever way you understand better, you can do that with, okay? So let me show you my own way. Now what you will do here is, you can from equation 1, get the value of x, make x subject or make y subject, okay? So from this equation 1, let's make x subject. So in that case, what you have is x plus y is equal to 3. So we can now say x, let's remove y from this side. So we are going to subtract y from the both sides to do that. So if you subtract y here, it goes off. And if you subtract, you're going to have 3 minus y. Did you see that? So this is what you have now as your x value. So what you do now is you're going to put this value of x. Remember, you made it subject in the equation 1. So if you want to substitute, you will substitute in equation 2. Did you get it? Okay. You can also do vice versa. So we're going to put this equation, put x into equation 2. And if you do that, we're going to have our x will now take the value of 3 minus y. Then this bracket is equal to 9. I hope this is clear. You can choose to reposition it to have, because when you have AB, it is the same as BA, okay? So let's reposition it. We're going to have y into 3 minus y is equal to 9. So this y we multiply this, distribute it. Okay, use it to multiply each of these terms. Y multiplies 3 will give us 3y, and y multiplies negative y will give us negative y squared is equal to 9. Now looking at this, you will notice this equation has led to what we call a quadratic, because the highest power of this y now is 2. Did you see that? So you are going to rearrange it, make it look more beautiful as it should when it comes to quadratic. So in that case, remember the sign here is positive, the sign affecting this is negative. So I want this one of y squared to come first. So it will come first with its sign. Did you see that? Then this will be plus 3y. I want to remove this from this side. In that case, you subtract, okay? You subtract 9 from both sides. So you subtract from the left side. And when you subtract 9 here, it becomes 0. So this one will be 0. I hope this is clear. So you see we've got this. But most students don't like working with negative signs, especially when they begin an equation. So if you're one of them, what you would simply do is to multiply this by -1, okay? So we're going to multiply the equation by -1. The essence is to remove what we have there, okay? So you're also multiplying it in this too. So in that case, we are going to have -1 multiplies this will give us y squared. When you multiply this, remember your signs, okay? And negative multiplies positive is negative. So this will give us -3y. This will give us positive 9. This will still give us 0. So at this point, you see we have gotten a beautiful equation. So let's solve this equation. Now to solve this as quadratic, there are so many methods you can use, but in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the formula method, okay? So to use the formula method, we are going to have, Remember, we're going to place this to be in the same with the general quadratic formula, which is this. This is the general quadratic equation, and the formula is negative b is plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, which are gotten from this. So what it means is that you need to identify your a from here. Your a is the coefficient of y squared. Did you see that? Then your b is the coefficient of y, which is -3. And your c here is 9. So let's plug this into this formula. We're going to make this to be y because the y is the variable we are looking for. Okay, so this is going to give us y is equal to, our b is negative already, but remember the formula has a negative sign. The essence of this is to have effect on whatever value of b. So this will make this to be what? +3. This negative will make this to be positive. Okay, let's write it out. So this is what we have. Plus or minus square root of, our b is -3. So we have -3 squared minus 4. Our a is 1. And our c is also 9. So you see what we have. All over 2, we multiply our a as 1. So this is going to give us, if you multiply this, is +3. Then -9 squared is -3 times -3 to give us 9. When you multiply this, it will give us -36. And this is all over 2. Did you see that? So we're going to have y is equal to 3 plus or minus, subtract this, you are going to have -25. I hope this is right, yes. And this is all over 2. So what did you observe now? At this point, you will notice that what we have here is negative sign inside the square root. And remember, each time you have a negative sign inside the square root, is different from cube root. When you have something like this, it means that value is no longer real, meaning it cannot be found on a number line. So it becomes imaginary number. And in that case, let me show you what you would do when you have such question. What you do is simply, remember your imaginary unit, which is -1 is I. So we're going to replace it here. And if you do that, see what you're going to have. We're going to have y is equal to 3 plus or minus. We have, if you bring out this will give us square root of -1 multiplying 25. Okay, so that will now give us, sorry, what we have here is 20. This should be 26. What we have there is 27. Okay, sorry about that. What we have there is 27. So in that case, we are going to now have, if you bring out this -1 out of the root from what you said there, it becomes I. So we have y is equal to 3 plus or minus, this will turn to I and we'll be left with square root of 27 all over 2. Now this root 27 has a perfect square in it, and the perfect square in that value is what? 9. So we have y is 3 plus or minus I, then square root of 9 times 3 all over 2. When you multiply this 3, it will give you 27. And 9 is a perfect square, so its square root will be 3. So we have y is equal to 3 plus or minus I. You bring it out from here, okay? Then this will remain in the root, and this is all over 2. So it means that our y now will be equal to 3 plus or minus 3I, multiply this, root 3, okay, all over 2. So this is now your value of y, but remember it is 2 because of this positive and negative. So y will be 3 plus 3I root 3 over 2, or y is equal to 3 minus 3I root 3 all over 2. I hope this is clear. So at this point, This is what we have as the value of y. So having gotten y, let's get the value of x. So remember we said x is 3 minus y. So when y is this, let's get the value. So when y is 3 plus 3i root 3 over 2, let's know what our x will be. So x will be equal to 3 minus this y. So 3 plus 3i root 3 over 2. Okay? Remember, this is together over 1. So x will give us, LCM is 2. So when you use, this goes there is 6. So we have 2 times 3 will give us 6. And this here is the same. So we're going to have 3 plus 3i root 3. And if you open this up, you are going to have x as 6. This negative will affect this. Okay, you distribute it properly. So you have negative 3. This will make this to be negative 3i root 3 over 2. And when you simplify, you have x will give us, subtract this, you have 3 minus 3i root 3 all over 2. Did you see that? So this is x when y is this. So let's also get x when y is the second value. So in that case, we are going to have our second y value there will now be, when y is 3 minus 3i root 3 over 2. If you can observe carefully, you notice this was plus when we were solving. And the value of y, the only difference there was just the sign. Okay, so we can just simply say that when x is this, when y is this, our x will be 3. So this is minus, meaning it is going to be plus 3i root 3 all over 2. So this is going to be our x value for this y value, and this will also be our x value for this y value. I hope this is clear. So now that we've gotten these two values, what do you think happens? We can choose to do a check. Let's plug it into this to know if actually we are going to have the same result. So to check, we are doing a check now. So remember, we can choose one. This is when x is this is your y. Okay, so you can choose any of them. So let's choose this one. So we now have x plus y. So our x is 3 plus 3i root 3 all over 2. Then what is the value of y? Our y there is, so we're having 3 minus 3i root 3 all over 2. Denominator is the same, so you just add the numerator. So you have this plus 3 minus 3i root 3 all over 2. Okay, 3 plus 3, collect terms that are the same. So 3 plus 3 will give us 6. This minus this is gone, so we have 6 over 2. And when you divide 6 by 2, it gives you back 3, which is what we have here. So you can try this, put in the value of x as this and this y value into this. Let's still know if it will give us the same thing. You can also try for when it is the product. So in that case, you multiply these two results. Let's try that one finally. So if you multiply the two results, we have x is 3 plus 3i root 3 over 2. Then we are multiplying with our y, 3 minus 3i root 3 over 2. You will notice this is difference of two squares. So if you apply it there, you are going to have 3 squared minus 3i root 3 all to the power of 2 all over. 2 multiplies 2 is 4. So what happens there? 3 squared is 3 times 3 is 9. And this we multiply, we have 9. This I, when it is squared, remember your I is root of -1. So when you square it, it becomes -1. So we're going to have this multiplied by -1. This square we cancel the root, we have 3 all over 4. So if you simplify, it's giving you 9. Multiply this, it gives you -27. And when you multiply with the negative, it becomes positive. Okay, all this will be divided by 4. 9 plus 27 will give us 36. And when you divide 36 by 4, it gives you 9, which is what we have here. So you see, for checking for both the first and second equations, we got the same answer using this x and y value. So you can try your own using the second value of x and y. But for your own take home, this is what you are going to do. I'm going to change the figure to have 1 here and have 1. Let me know what your answer will be about this in the comment section. I hope this tutorial helps you a lot. Please, if it did, let's know how much. And remember, you can subscribe for the more you get from us. Share this with your friends. I will see you in our next class. Till then, bye-bye.